Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news. Check this out. The other day, Dr. Umar went on the Hardly Initiated podcast, and he was discussing the state of black relationships. According to Dr. Umar, one of the major problems hindering male-female relationships today within the black community is that dating and mating has become the new drug, and many people don't even know what kind of relationship they're in. You don't know whether you're in a relationship, a pleasure contract, or a situationship. Let's check out what Dr. Umar had to say.
We devalue the role of the man and we devalue the role of the woman based on European values. Because guess what? How much you earn has nothing to do with what you can contribute to the system and to these children. So all of us have been influenced negatively by the white man's power structure to the point where even in our house, he's still operating at a distance through the way that we think. Take economics. Money and sex, those two variables play too big of a role in our relationships. Sex is important, money is important, but they should not be the be all and end all of whether or not the relationship is going to make sense. And if money and sex are dominating the relationship is being ran on a superficial structure because money runs out. How you perform in bed, that will dim over time too. So we cannot be coming together for money and sex, because if that's the case, this really isn't a relationship, it's a pleasure contract. And a lot of us in the community have pleasure contracts we call relationships. And the difference between a pleasure contract and a relationship is a relationship requires obligation and accountability. See, when you have a pleasure contract, I sex my queen when I sex her. We go to the movies when we want to go to the movies. We go to the Bahamas when we want to go to the Bahamas. We go to the festival when we want to go to, it's all pleasure based. I see you when you want to see me. You see me when you want to see me. Relationship, I'm accountable to you whether we having fun or not. Relationship, your long-term best interest as a human being is part of my responsibility. A lot of people are calling pleasure contracts and situationships, which is when neither one of you really know what the hell this is. We're calling them relationships and they're not. So number one, we got to be honest about what the particular structure is. Is this situationship? We just trying to figure it out. Is this a pleasure contract? We just having fun in and out of the bed when we feel like it? Or is this a relationship where you're going to be accountable to me even when you are angry and upset and don't want to be bothered? What exactly is this? Because there's a big difference. And unfortunately, because we don't communicate with the women in our lives as men, once they open their legs, they tend to assume that there's some sort of a relationship here. No matter how minuscule, we never clarify that. And the reason we never clarify that is in our selfishness as men, we like to have our cake and eat it too. So we know she's developing a bond. You understand? But we're never going to clarify the bond because I want to be able to dip out the back door the minute she puts too much responsibility on me. Where had if you told her up front, this is just a pleasure contract, an arrangement, she could have probably done a better job of keeping her feelings to herself. But because we don't want to see her with nobody else, we would rather run the risk of hurting her spiritually and emotionally than let her go free to find what she really needs. Selfishness plays a big role in this.
Very interesting. Here's my question. Is Dr. Umar right? Are a lot of these women who are out here thinking that they're in real relationships actually in pleasure contracts and situationships, but they don't know it? Let me know what you think in the comments. And while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. But while we're discussing Dr. Umar's thoughts on relationships, we might as well discuss this too. A few weeks ago, Dr. Umar was on the Joe Budden podcast, and while he was there, he started talking about the problems that he has with interracial relationships, and he used Kobe Bryant and Vanessa Bryant as an example to show how when well-to-do black men marry white women, all of the wealth that they've amassed leaves the black community and goes right back into the white man's hands. Check this out. Okay, let me start by saying this. Vanessa Bryant is not white. She's Mexican. So maybe Dr. Umar should have used Michael Jordan, Kanye West, Donald Glover, Ice-T, Eddie Murphy, Jordan Peele, Sidney Poitier, Quincy Jones, James Earl Jones, or the entire New York Knicks basketball team as an example. But we get the point. Source, can you please show us a quick picture of the New York Knicks basketball team with their girlfriends? Yo, why is the white dude the only one with the black girlfriend? I mean, that right there is crazy. Anyhow, according to Dr. Umar, interracial marriage is simply a tool that some white people use to reverse the financial gains made by African Americans in America since our comeuppance after slavery. In other words, when all of these rich black men turn around and get with these white women, are they doing nothing more than giving the quote-unquote white man back all his money? Listen, let me know what you think. Do you think that Dr. Umar is right? Now, check this out. The other day, Jim Jones popped up on social media and he issued a challenge to all of the rappers from his era. And Jim Jones says that he challenges any rapper from his era to get back in the studio, and he guarantees you, whatever you do, he'll smoke you.
Tell them old niggas get in the studio. They trying to do everything but rap. I know nostalgia sells, but that shit old, you heard? Come out and play. I could come to any studio I'm at. I'll cook any one of you niggas up from my era. And I got the bag to match it, you heard? This is a public service announcement. 2024, I'm giving out all smoke to you niggas from my era. What happened? You heard? What happened?
Yo, the funniest thing about the Jim Jones challenge is this. Jim Jones wasn't smoking ninjas back in the day, so how in the freaking world does he all of a sudden think that he's gonna be smoking those same ninjas today? I mean, Jim was respectable as a rapper, but he was no Biggie, Eminem, Rakim, Jay-Z, Jadakiss, Nas, or like Tupac. I don't know, maybe Jim Jones's new doctor has given him some new geriatric gummy vitamins that make him rap better than he used to whenever he gets into the booth and chews them. Because aside from that, Jim Jones ain't smoking nobody. Now, peep this. A YouTuber named Noor Jasmine really wanted to find out if Diddy took out Kim Porter. So, she went and ordered Kim Porter's autopsy report. And guess what? The County of Los Angeles Department of Coroner investigators sent it to her. So, in her video, she reviews the report and a number of different things jumped out at me. First off, the report says that Kim Porter did not have a primary physician, which is very interesting to me because you would think that P. Diddy's baby mama, who was also a millionaire, would have good medical insurance and get regular checkups. Anyhow, the report goes on to say that on November 7th, Kim Porter contacted a doctor named Dr. Farzam. Now, other sources are saying that this doctor was a doctor that Diddy put her on to, but I don't know if that's true. So, Kim Porter told the doctor that she was experiencing a fever with like flu-like symptoms, and the doctor prescribed a Z-Pak, which is azithromycin, which is used to treat different types of infections caused by bacteria, including like infections of the lungs, sinus, throat, tonsils, etc. On November 10th, which was 3 days later, Kim's condition still didn't improve, so a nurse came to the crib and gave her an IV solution with vitamins. 2 days later, the doctor came to the house, and when he checked Kim, he said that she had a fever of 102, and she still was experiencing the flu-like symptoms, so he gave her a shot of Toradol in the gluteus maximus, which is interesting because Toradol is used to treat pain. Anyhow, according to the report, all of Kim's vitals were normal, but she didn't have an appetite, so the doctor gave her some more saline in the IV along with some vitamins. The next day, Kim called Dr. Farzam again and reported that her temperature had dropped down to a 96, but now she noticed that she had some blood in the phlegm. Listen, I'm not a doctor, but like, isn't this like when you're supposed to send her to the emergency room? Anyhow, after Kim got off the phone, she received a massage from her goddaughter, and despite feeling poorly, she continued on with her day and then she went to sleep. Now, this is very interesting because the report says that Kim Porter's goddaughter was staying with her during this time, and she's the one that found her unresponsive in bed. And as it turns out, Kim's goddaughter, who was there, had actually spent the night in the same bed with Kim that night, so she was actually laying right next to her when Kim expired. Alright, so the next thing that I found to be very interesting in the coroner's report is this. The police say that when they got to the house and they found Kim Porter, she had congestion in her sclera, which is the whites of her eyes. She had blood that was coming out of her right snare, which is her nostril, and she was also frothing from the mouth. I don't know, y'all. This does not sound natural to me. But once again, I'm not a doctor. Listen, if there are any doctors in the comment section, please let me know. Is this normal? I mean, I really want to know. But this is what got me in the coroner's report. The cops are saying that when they got there, they saw congestion in the eyes, they saw blood on the nostrils, and they also saw frothing from the mouth. Later on in the coroner's report, the coroner says there was no congestion of the eyes and there was no foaming from the mouth. Listen, why is there such a disparity? Anyhow, when they looked at Kim Porter's lungs, they did find that there was evidence of lobar pneumonia, which means that she did have an infection. But what throws me off about this whole coroner's report is this. When you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there's a section that says, did the family request a copy of this report? It says no, which is strange, because if your family member, your mother, your brother, your sister, anybody, passed away under mysterious circumstances and you didn't know why, and they were only 40-something years old, wouldn't you want a copy of that coroner's report? I mean, is it just me, or does that not seem off to you? Anyhow, if you want to see a copy of the whole report, you could go check that out at Noor Jasmine's YouTube channel, Noor, because I'm just over here summarizing. But before I go, can somebody please go over to Willie D's YouTube channel and ask Willie D to please stop cursing everybody out on the internet? I mean, I get it. You're upset that people preferred Shannon Sharpe's interview with Katt Williams over yours. But that still doesn't mean that you should drop the grenades on him. Check your boy out.
What most of y'all don't have any idea of is my interview was done prior to Shannon releasing his interview. I did the interview first. In fact, I spoke with Katt a couple of days ago, and he revealed to me that he did the Shannon Sharpe interview after. Let me ask your silly ass something. What would you have done? Let's say you got a Katt Williams interview in the can, and somebody drop a video and the video go haywire. Millions and millions of damn views. What would you do with your interview? Would you sit there and wait like I had planned to do initially? Or would you go, you know what? Shit, man, the wave is already in the water. Let me ride this damn thing. The wave is already in the water. Let me get on it. I have no shame for doing that. What would you have done as a businessman? That's what I want to know. Because if you say that you would have done anything different, I would believe that you're a lying ass. And if you would have done anything different, it would explain why you probably are not good at business, why you are probably struggling financially. Clout chasing. I already got clout, sucker. Most of the people who can sit down and listen to a Willie D interview do pretty well socially. That's right, I said it. Some of y'all are just uncivilized mutts who are too hot in the head, too hot in the ass to slow down and listen to a relaxed conversation between people. You want to hear the mess. You want to hear the drama. Ask them about it. Ask them about it. You don't care nothing about the guests. You don't care nothing about how Katt. Y'all fake it. Some of y'all straight up fake it. Y'all don't care nothing about Katt Williams. Y'all don't care how Katt Williams grew up. You don't care nothing about the struggles that Katt Williams had. All you care about is Katt Williams and people out. To my fans, to the people that rock with me, to my supporters, I love y'all for real, for real. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for defending me in the comment sections, not just on my channel, but the other channels. I'm on a lot of stuff, so I see a lot of stuff. So thank you for all of defending me, in this situation right here, right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To my detractors, it's a waste of time trying to make somebody happy that don't want to be happy. Likewise, it's a waste of time to try to help someone get an understanding who don't want to get an understanding. So come a little closer so you can hear what I got to say. Fuck all y'all. Fuck your mama. Fuck your daddy. Fuck your sister. Fuck your brother. Fuck your sick grandmother. Fuck all y'all. Fuck your car. Fuck your house. Fuck your phone. Fuck everything you love. You uncivilized mutt. No more talk.
Look, this is all I gotta say, and this is not only for Willie D, but it's for everybody. There's an old saying that goes, a boat can float as long as it stays above the water, but once it starts to let that water get in, that is when it sinks. Which means, despite what shallow people might say about you, especially on the internet, you gotta stay above it all, because if you don't, after a while, you're just gonna let them take you down. I'm telling you, the internet be getting to people. Listen, let me know what you think about Dr. Umar saying that some women out there who think they're in relationships are actually in pleasure contracts, and also saying that interracial marriage is really only a way for the white people to get their money back. Also, let me know what you think about the Jim Jones challenge, Kim Porter's autopsy report, and Willie D cursing out everybody who wasn't feeling his Katt Williams interview. Let me know what you think about all of that in the comments. And while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.